oppression is taken as normal in this part of the world, but really, injustice deserves outrage. Hello, you're welcome to Who Cares Moment with Biola, the voice for the voiceless. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people." On today's edition, we examine the #EndSARS protest and ask, what next?
Thousands of young Nigerians, tired of being victimized and repeatedly subjected to harassment and extrajudicial killings by the men of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police Force, trooped out in their numbers all over Nigeria, demanding an end to police brutality and also asking government to disband the rogue SARS police unit. The victims of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad are usually harassed, arrested, extorted from, tortured in the most brutal way, and finally extrajudicially killed.
I was raped by this mother last 2 years. They extorted money from me twice.
Sadly, this is the reality of many young Nigerians whose lives and dreams have been cut short by bloodthirsty police officers. The same people charged with the protection of lives end up taking it.
In 2012, and he went for a child dedication. He was picked up there and he was allegedly taken to SARS office. When his family went to look for him, they were told that he had been taken to the headquarters. They went there to find him. His mother spotted him being brought into the station and she said, "That's my child." And the officer in charge of that station, the notorious Nwankwo, asked them to boot her and the family out of the premises, and then they were pushed out. Since then, they haven't seen Chijioke again. The next time they went, the officer Nwankwo boasted that he shot Chijioke, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. They searched for him, and then some other officers told the parents that it's possible he hasn't died, that the man could just be bluffing. They should bring some money to bribe him. The father brought some money. The officer said the money was too small. The father went, sold his land, sold some properties, raised 3 million, gave it to the man. The man said 3 million was chicken change. And the most horrifying part of this story, if you're a parent, that man, CSP Nwankwo, made Chijioke's dad to look for Chijioke's body in a river of dead bodies. He made him turn every single corpse upside down, searching for his son. I can't imagine what that man was going through. One part of him would think, let me find this body so that we can have closure. Another part of him would think, let me not find this body so that we can have hope. This is the impunity with which officers have treated us. They came to Abuja to seek justice. The state CID told them they would have to pay money to transport officers down to the state where it happened to investigate. We have no system. We cannot get tired. Are you tired?
I would like to say that the older generations, that is the generation of our fathers and our grandfathers, have brought us to this. Because they didn't talk during that time. That's what has brought us to this. All these accumulated events is what has brought to this. And now we have said that we don't want this anymore. We, the young generations, have to stand up for this.
And money that we work for. Because we are young and we are working hard and we are making it, doesn't mean you should harass us and you should continue to oppress us in our own country. We don't need to run somewhere else to be happy. We need to be happy in our country, and we'll continue to fight for our country.
The #EndSARS movement began in social media after a video of a man murdered by the men of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad went viral. The youths, led by some celebrities in the entertainment industry, moved to the streets to protest unjust killings and other atrocities committed by SARS officers. These later metamorphosed to a call to end bad governance, which spread from Lagos to other parts of the country, where the protest was very peaceful and orderly. However, police officers shot at protesters, killing some in the process. Nigerian mothers also lent their voices to end SARS and bad governance in Nigeria. One of the mothers shared her experience of her son. She requested that we hide her identity for fear of being threatened or attacked. On the 20th day of October 2020, the Lagos State government announced a curfew to begin from 4 p.m. West African time. At about 2 p.m., some men were seen removing the CCTV cameras at the Lekki toll gate. The protesters refused leaving the protest venue as they were peacefully exercising their rights. They were singing the national anthem, waving the Nigerian flag when the lights at the toll gate were suddenly switched off. And then, mayhem was unleashed. Men in the Nigerian military fatigue were seen in videos shared online by protesters on ground, firing live bullets directly at the unarmed protesters. A Nigerian celebrity, DJ Switch, who was also one of the Lekki protesters, recorded the gruesome events on her Instagram live handle, which was watched live by thousands of people across the world, including international media agencies. She also made a video explaining the events at the Lekki Tollgate massacre.
My life was being threatened for speaking up, and to not insult the grief of Nigerians, to not insult the intelligence of Nigerians, to not insult the pain that families are facing. People were falling left and right. Yes, there were soldiers there. Another part that people are not really talking about, the police also came. The SARS people were talking about, they also came. Some maybe 40-45 minutes after the soldiers left. We were tear gassed, and the only thing we fought with was our flags. We would sit on the floor and raise our hands up, waving our flags and singing the national anthem. That's all we had. They put off the lights. Even if there's no power on a good day in that axis, there's always light at the toll gate. There was no light. The lights were off. The street lights were off. It was pitch black. A boy jumped on me and was shouting, "Cover her, cover her." I didn't even understand why he did that. They shot that boy on my back. I fell, and while the soldiers were trying to pick their shells, we were running around and picking their shells too, because we wanted proof. These are some of the shells we picked. This one I call my own because it's landed right next to my ear. This one was one we took out from someone's lap. The military, they were there on Nigerian soil, killing Nigerian citizens. The police and their SARS-like people came doing the same thing, aiming and shooting. Aiming, not they were pointing the gun at us and shooting live bullets. Who takes live bullets to protest? Who does that? So to our leaders, please, I urge you to please not insult the intelligence of Nigerians and the families. Something I think about now in hindsight, just I wish we hadn't done it, but we carried dead bodies and dropped at the feet of the soldiers so that they could see what they did to us. When I asked the unit commander or something, "Why are you killing us?" I wish we didn't do that. I wish we kept the bodies, because they ended up throwing the bodies in their van. This was up until the next day, the next morning.
One thing is clear. These EndSARS protesters were peaceful. They were waving the national flag and singing the national anthem while being shot at. Their only crime was demanding for their fundamental human right, a right to life, which was blatantly denied them when their country turned against them and murdered them.
Some thugs were allegedly paid to disrupt the EndSARS protests. Those caught in the act confessed, but afterwards, more thugs were deployed in order to discredit the EndSARS peaceful protest, which saw the destruction of properties for hours. We are watching the drama twist with some comic relief on a detective and panel drama note, followed by lawsuits against peaceful protesters. New actors are currently on board as the drama continues. And the question that comes to mind is, what role will you play? Because each of us will be paid for our role someday.
Arresting and freezing of accounts will the death and sacrifices of this young patriotic Nigerian youth be in vain? Each one of us will be judged for our actions or inactions. Remember, nothing hidden that will not eventually be revealed. Theodore Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have, where you are. So, be your brother's keeper. Send in your comments and your advice. Let us change our world one person at a time. Thank you for being part of this edition. Please click on the like and subscribe button. Who cares? We care.